Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be another book review. This is going to be on the Sew Over It Beginner's Guide to Dressmaking ebook. If you're interested in a review on the Beginner's Guide to Sewing, I did that last week and I'll put a little card up. I forget which corner, one of these corners, and then I'll link it in the description box below along with the link to the book and then the, any fabric that is still available online. I'll link that. Okay, so real quick for the book overview. This is the ebook costing 20 pounds, and for that you get 3 patterns. You get a dress, an A-line skirt, and a t-shirt. You could also bundle this with the Beginner's Guide to Sewing, and I think that is 30 pounds for the bundle. So you would save 5 pounds because the other book is 15 pounds. So you can bundle them and save 5 pounds. So this was written for a beginner audience with the intent to teach sewing or increase your sewing from what you learned in the previous book. And you get 25 videos are included. However, the majority of those videos are repeats of videos in the previous book. So don't expect it to be brand new videos for every single one in the book. And then, like I said, you receive 3 patterns: A-line skirt, shift dress, which is what I'm wearing, and a t-shirt. So the first pattern that you are going to make is an A-line skirt. This is the one that I made. I made this out of a rayon from Style Maker Fabrics. All three of these are from Style Maker Fabrics, and I will, like I said, link them in the description if they're still available. So super floaty, super swishy. Really love this. Okay, so Over It describes this as your first intro to bias cut garments is the A-line skirt. You'll learn some valuable skills that work for most skirt patterns: how to sew a waistband, how to insert a concealed zip, and how to hem. So, excuse me. Okay. My thoughts on this skirt. I do like how they increase your sewing skills. So in the previous book, you learned how to cut your patterns, how to cut the fabric. How they increase your sewing skill set with this one is that you are using it by cutting on the bias. You're making a bias cut skirt. However, I did not like how when installing the waistband, they didn't mention that you have to ease the waistband onto your skirt. And the only reason why I figured out that you had to do this was because I was putting on the waistband and then matching the notches, and I was like, oh my god, did I cut the wrong size waistband? And then I went and checked and I didn't, and I was like putting the pattern pieces onto the waistband. I was just like the paper pieces, and I was just like, did they not draft this properly? And I was just so confused and like kind of upset because I was like, did I do something wrong? But so I just kind of ended up easing the skirt into it, and I think that's what you had to do because it fits, it works. There's like no pin tucks or gathers or anything. I just had to ease it in. But they don't tell you to do that in the instructions. So I think for someone who's learning how to sew a skirt and how to sew on a waistband, you are gonna be disheartened. Okay, you're just gonna be upset because you're gonna be like, oh man, did I do something wrong? And you're just gonna kind of bring your confidence down, I think, a little bit, because if you've never done this before, you're not gonna understand that that's actually a thing that you may have to do. So if you've never sewn a waistband on a garment and you're watching this, know that you're gonna have to ease the waistband onto the skirt. And there's no video explaining how to do it, so like I said, there is no like tip or anything telling you that that's what you have to do, which I did not like. What else? Oh, much like the last book, the instructions for finishing were also lackluster and felt incomplete. They continued the whole zigzag the raw edge and then turn it up, which I don't like. Also, another issue that I have with the finishing instructions for this garment is that it says in like one of the last steps, I think like the third to last step, to hang your skirt up to allow for the hem to drop, which is correct because it's cut on the bias, right? You're gonna wanna hang it so everything drops and then you can hem it after that. However, it doesn't tell you that you have to level the hem before finishing it. And if you've never sewn with, bias cut garments before, you're not gonna know that. I mean, you may, because you may watch, people on YouTube who have done it. I know that Sean on Kittenish Behavior, she did a whole video on ways to level hems for bias cut garments. But like I said, if you've never seen that before, you haven't really been introduced to bias cut garments before, you're not gonna know that you need to level it out before you hem it. So your hem is just gonna be like all this kinds of wonky, and it's not going to be straight, and it may not be the finish that you're looking for, and that may upset you. So while I do like the pattern, I found it easy to follow, but I felt that there were instructions that were missing, especially for someone who is just doing this for the first time, and your intent for this book was to teach someone doing this for the first time. I don't think it's fair that those were left out, and I don't know if they were left out on purpose or if it was just an oversight because they were rushing to get the book out. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I feel like that is just kind of unfair. Okay, but overall, I do like the finished product of the skirt. 3 pattern pieces, waistband, or 4. Waistband, front skirt, back skirt, and pockets. So you, once again, insert pockets. So if you made the pajama pants, you will already be familiar. So this allows you to practice and become proficient in inserting and seam pockets. You do insert a, what's this called, invisible zip. I don't think the instructions are that great, to be honest. They are a little bit confusing. If you haven't inserted a invisible zip before, Professor Pincushion has a great video, and I will link that in the description box below. Okay. Next up is the shift dress, which is what I'm wearing. I decided to make the version with short sleeves, and it's hemmed above the knee. And yeah, so this is it. Has darts, pretty simple to make. Alright, so over it, puts in the description, the ideal first dress to test out your skills. An adaptation of one of our best-selling patterns, the shift dress, is easy to fit and easy to wear. There's 3 sleeve options, short, 3/4, and long, to practice sewing sleeves, or opt for the sleeveless version to try out binding an armhole. The top version makes the perfect throw on top to go with jeans, and you'll learn how to sew a dart, how to neatly finish a back neck opening, and how to attach a neckline facing. So this was my favorite pattern out of the book. I do think that maybe I should have went up a size. Sorry, that was more, if you guys could hear that barking. So my measurements put me at a size 10 for the bust, 12 for the waist and hip, but I feel kind of like restricted. I think the shoulders maybe, while they like fit, I don't know, it just feels kind of tight around like the back when I move and bring my arms up. They feel tight in the sleeves, so I think maybe I should have went up a size in the bodice, even though my measurements put me at a 10. But other than that, I really do like how easy this dress is to wear. So my notes are, this was my favorite pattern out of the book. Oh, the UPS guy, that's why they're barking. Okay, so this is my favorite pattern of the book. You do have lots of options and are taught how to use ties for the back or hook and eyes. I went for the hook and eye. And then you also learn how to insert a sleeve or how to do bias binding around a sleeveless, like the armhole. The only issue that I had with these instructions were they don't tell you to hem your sleeves. So once you it tells you everything. It tells you how to put the 2 basting stitches, sew it up, and then how to ease in the sleeve, right? And then that's it. Doesn't after that there's no hemming of the sleeve. And I read through everything and I was like, okay, well maybe it's gonna tell you to hem it when it tells you at the bottom to hem the skirt. Nope. The last few instructions on finishing were how to hem the bottom of the dress, but nowhere did it mention how to hem your sleeves. So that was left out. And this is an issue that I've been having going through these books, is instructions being left out or just saying it's going to get done and, like I said, just being left out. It feels unfinished, rushed, and just overall I don't think the quality, I was expecting better. But yeah, so I would just say just hem your sleeves however you want. And once again, throughout the book, it's zigzag the bottom raw edge and then turn up once. I did a double fold to make it nice and neat. But yeah. Okay, and then the last one is a t-shirt. So this is the t-shirt. I will say this has a very low scoop, which is why I'm not putting it on because it makes me uncomfortable. It's lower than what I like to wear, so be prepared for that if you make this. This dress was made out of fabric, a rayon from Style Maker Fabrics, and this was a knit cotton jersey, modal jersey, also from Style Maker. And like I said, I'll link it in the description box below. Oh wow, it's getting pretty dark. Okay, so I'm gonna hurry up and finish this up because we're losing daylight. So over it says that this is your first intro to knit fabrics. It's the classic tee. The construction is super simple and is one of the most common ways to make a t-shirt, so you can move on to other patterns seamlessly. You learn how to work with knit fabric, how to use your regular sewing machine to stitch knits, how to sew sleeves and flat, and how to insert a neckband. How I make this shirt is how I've made every other shirt that I've ever made. So they are not lying about it being the most common ways to make a t-shirt, because I've never made a t-shirt any other way. So I do like how they included a beginner-friendly knit project into the book. That just sets up the user to continue on this dressmaking journey when they're done with this book and they're not afraid to sew knits. I know that was the fabric that I was really afraid of to try next, was making knitted garments. So it sets the user up to continue learning new techniques and how to sew with different fabric types, and then the instructions were easy to follow, and I had 0 issues with this pattern. In fact, I think I made this thing up in less than an hour. So I've made a bunch of t-shirts, so if you're brand new to that, don't expect that. But for someone a little bit more advanced, you can make this very easily. 4 pattern pieces: the front, the back, the neckband, and the sleeve. And the neckband, I had no issues with the neckband. Neckbands are usually the one part of a t-shirt that I struggle with the most, and super easy instructions, super easy to insert, and I had no problems with it being pin tucked or super stretched out or falling forward, or it fits nice and it's a nice clean finish. If you watched my review on the Tabitha, how excited I was for that neckband, I had the same reaction for this. So great beginner friendly pattern for knits, and a good way to end this book series. Okay, so my thoughts on the book is I do like this book better than I liked the last one. I will say that. I still don't like the process used to access the videos. It's still going to get them checking out, so therefore I didn't look at any of the videos because, like I said, I'm impatient and I just didn't like that process. I do wish that buttonholes were included in this book, because buttonholes are a pretty common fastening. Is that how you say that word? Or closure, I will say that. It's a pretty common closure for dressmaking, and I feel like that should have been included in learning this, a skill learned and taught in this book. I like the progress of the projects, especially with the ending with the knit project. So it's kind of like, okay, we've given you all these skills, you've worked with these type of fabrics, now go, the world is your oyster. So I do like how it ended with that. And I do feel like the value for money was better with this book because you do get 3 actual like garment patterns, and they're dressmaking projects that I don't really think you can find common for free patterns, minus the t-shirt. There are tons of free t-shirt patterns, especially for indie designers. That's usually like the one free pattern that they have. So I know Closet Core Pattern recently came out with a free t-shirt pattern called the Core t-shirt. The Hemlock Tee by Greenline Studios is a free t-shirt pattern. Who else makes a free t-shirt pattern? Tasudi, I think, has a free t-shirt pattern. So their free t-shirt patterns are very common. I will say that. So, how much time? Okay. And I do feel like I would recommend this book over the first one. I think this one was a little bit better. But like I said, I didn't appreciate how they totally left out hemming the sleeves of the dress. And I don't like how it continues, which is zigzag and then flip over once and stitch. So I do like this book better than the previous one, and I would recommend this one for someone who has more of a skill set with sewing, who's sewn a couple garments and is looking to expand their knowledge. And yeah, so that's all I have for you guys. I'm sorry it got really dark really fast. Hopefully you can still see me, but if you like this video and this content, please give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I thank you guys for taking time out of your day to watch these videos and to connect with me. This is why I started YouTube, was to talk to other people that sewed, because there was no one around me that had this skill or this hobby, and I enjoy, talking to you guys in the comments. So I look forward to seeing you guys in the comments, and I'll see you next week, okay?